Hello guys, and welcome to this Volks Wizard video. Now I've had this 2019 Audi Q3 S line for the past 6 days. It actually goes back to Audi UK tomorrow, but before it does, I thought I'd make a video going through the options that are fitted to it, because being a press car, it is, as always, far from basic. There's actually £8,270 worth of options, making a list price of over £47,000. It does sound like a lot, but bear in mind you can spec a Golf R to similar sort of level, so whether it's good value or not, I guess depends on your requirements. To help me decide which options are for you, I thought I'd just go through them in detail, show you how they work, and when you're in the dealership you'll have a better idea of which box to tick. So, without any further ado, let's have a closer look at this very high spec Audi Q3 S line. Okay, I've got the spec sheets here on my phone with the prices. I'll just refer to this as we go around the car, starting with the outside. Well, obviously the main thing to talk about is the colour. This is from the metallic range. You only get Ibis White for free. Everything else is extra. So there's a couple of solid colours that are extra. There's a few metallics, which Kronos Grey is one of, and there's also one pearl effect colour, which is Daytona Grey. So they've seen fit to give you a more conventional grey, if this sort of greeny grey, almost flat grey called Kronos Grey isn't to your taste. I quite like it. I mean, I like Daytona, but this is more of a statement, I think. The wheels are extra, even though they're the same size as the standard S-Line wheels, 19-inch, with these 35/50/19 tyres. So this is £150 extra for these V-Design wheels, 20 spoke. And yeah, I think it's probably not the craziest thing to do is have some pretty wheels on your SUV when you've got this much tyre protection. You'd have to try very hard to damage them. Another option on this car is the Matrix LED headlights. So these are £540. I think that's really money well spent. You can tell if it's got Matrix LEDs because the standard S-Line has got normal LED headlights. You can spot Matrix by the dynamic indicators. And I've used those at night. I'll put some footage on the screen now of them. They're really, really clever. They have auto main beam, which will blank out the bit that could blind drivers, not just turn off the main beam completely, which makes night driving just so much nicer. I'm pretty sure the standard car has these LED rear lights and rear dynamic indicators. There you go. It's also got a power tailgate, but that is actually standard. The reason I'm opening the boot is because this car's got the storage pack, which gives you a couple of LED lights, and it gives you the luggage net and a couple of bits inside, and you get storage under the seat down here. Right, we've also got, well, let's look at the trim. So this is black silver Alcantara frequency twin leather with rock grey stitching. This is a £400 extra because standard it's just cloth in the middle, so that's pretty pleasant. We've also got 4-way lumbar support, which is extra. Let's just have a look at that. That's £255, so that gets you comfortable without any doubt. We've also got electrically adjustable front seat, so driver and passenger. I think that's £675, so you can, this is pretty cool actually, because you can adjust the seat cushion independent of the base, so there's no excuse for not being comfortable. Just beware that somebody can adjust this seat in a completely uncomfortable position, so make sure you set yourself up nicely when you get the car. What else have we got? Oh yes, Alcantara elements. They don't have to be orange, there are a few different colours. £375. This would normally be leatherette, and it continues across the dashboard. But don't be put off by this orange. As I say, there are other options available. We've got electric folding mirrors. So folding door mirrors with auto dimming function, that's £300. So when you lock the car, I don't know why I'm bothering to demonstrate this, I'm sure you can imagine it. They do that. Now, unlike some cars, when you unlock it, they don't automatically unfold because you might just be going in the car to get something out of it. So why should it unfold? But when you turn the ignition on, they do open out. You can also do it manually as well if you're driving along for some reason using the switch, just like that. Right then, I think I can get in the car now. and let's take stock. Right, well, let's get this out of the way. This car's got the comfort and sound pack, that's £995 extra. It's got a few features which I'll try and remember. Okay, firstly we've got the Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system. So just reading this, it says it's got 15 loudspeakers, a subwoofer, a centre loudspeaker and a 16-channel amplifier with an output of 680 watts. Well, there's no point in me trying to demonstrate that to you now, because going down a GoPro and a cheap 15 quid mic probably would make it sound really awful, but rest assured, it's really good. As part of the comfort and sound pack, you also get extended ambient lighting. So there's a few bits of ambient lighting as standard, but the extra bits make all the difference. So you get a couple of bits in the door, some down the side here, and very coolly, even though this looks metallic, the Quattro logo will glow in various different colours. So yeah, that's a really nice touch. Heated front seats, well, you can imagine what that's like. You have a cold bum, you want to warm them up, you press the button. Audi Parking System Plus, so I'll put the ignition on for that and pop it into reverse. So on this screen here you get this display. Now this car's got the extra camera, which was 300 and something, but I don't really think you need that, because I'd rather have this display here in the centre. This is really only useful if you want to put your bumper right next to that wall, because it gives you more accuracy than the ultrasonics. But if you don't do weird stuff like that, for general parking, just the normal sensors are good. So Parking System Plus, and then you get cross traffic rear assist as well. So this, I haven't tested this yet, but apparently if you're reversing out of a driveway and it's a busy road, it will warn you that there's traffic coming in case you've missed it, and it will acoustically warn you and then brake jolt if a potential collision is detected. So yeah, I can't tell you how good it is, but if it does work once, it's money well spent, especially as part of this pack. While we're at it, let's have a look at the other pack. That's a driver assistance pack. So basically this is for people who live with a car day to day, do a lot of miles. It just makes it easier and safer to do that. So you get camera-based traffic sign recognition. A camera on the car will read the road signs and display them on the dashboard here. So it could be speed limits, it could be a warning, you know, like no overtaking. You also get high beam assist, so this will switch the main beam off if traffic's detected, whether it's in front of you, going in the same direction as you, or coming the other way. If you've got the matrix LED headlights, it will only take off the main beam bit that will blind other traffic and leave most of it on the road, which is amazing technology. You also get adaptive cruise assist, so basically it makes sort of traffic jams a lot easier. You can just let the automatic gearbox and the radar cruise all do their thing. It'll even keep you in the lane. So it does say where laws allow, so I can't guarantee that applies in the UK, but basically it's a very big step towards full autonomous driving, that is, and I think we might be the guinea pigs for it. And that's that. Yeah. So yeah, quite a useful package. That's only £800, so again, it's hard to say no when any of those features could make your life so much easier. Now, slightly easier to demonstrate and sell in a showroom is the panoramic glass sunroof. So this is £1,150. So you've got these two switches here. It's got a blind which is partly open now. You can open it a bit further if you want the rear passengers to get the benefit of the light. With my hand in the way. So that's fully back. The roof is completely closed now. You can tilt it up like so, just to let some air in, or you can have it go back. So the second panel always stays in place. It's only the front panel that will move. And there you go. Now on an A3, you can close the blind now and have the roof open, which is great on, say, an R3 if you want the exhaust noise to come in. Probably not so great on a normal A3, but it's just nice to have a bit less, you know, it's just nice to close the blind and have the roof open, but you haven't got the option with this car, because if you close the blind, it only goes to there. It won't actually go any further. So there we go. I'll just close that now because it's pretty cold today. Now the next option is the adaptive dampers. So let's just check out how much they cost, because I'm getting a bit confused now. Right, here we go. Adaptive suspension with damping controls. That's £750. And what that does basically is it will constantly adapt the damping to suit the road conditions while you're driving. So if you're driving on a bumpy road, it will slacken the suspension off. If you're driving dynamically, it will firm it up. Very clever stuff. And you can play around with it with Drive Select. I need to get rid of that. but you don't have to. So if you go into individual mode, you can see the 3 different options that are here, because this car's got the option comfortable, balanced and dynamic, but its best use is in the adaptive mode, which is if you just put the car into auto mode on here. Okay, I'll press that. So drive select, auto, just run it in auto and it'll look after itself. It's really hard to explain the benefits of this, but I've been driving this car all week here in Suffolk, and the roads go from really nice and smooth and fast to really quite bad, and it's just never been anything other than really well judged. It goes around corners like a GTI if you put it in dynamic mode, and oddly, for dynamic mode in an Audi, you can kind of forget you're in dynamic mode when you stop driving like a loon, because it's still quite comfortable. Normally they're really so hard that you get it out of dynamic mode as soon as you can. So yeah, this is money well spent. A little analogy is a bottle of wine. If you spend £5 on a bottle of wine, you'll get a pretty poor bottle of wine, but if you spend £10, you'll get a really good bottle of wine. And if you think the standard suspension probably say cost Audi 750 quid, the normal passive dampers, if you're giving them another 750, you'll get suspension that's significantly better than that. And bearing in mind it's attached to a car that's like £40,000, and it adds just to the whole driving of the rest of the car. So yeah, I think it's money well spent. Right, let's just see what's left. Okay, a couple of minor things to finish with. We've got this steering wheel, which, because it's not round, this is the extra cost wheel. So this is £250 for this flat bottom wheel. The configurator infers that you have to pay this to get gear shift pedals. So if you go for the normal wheel, you'll just have the normal automatic ability, and you can change gear down here manually if you want, but you won't have these pedals. I love pedals. When I'm driving S-Tronic and I don't have pedals, it's like I'm driving with one hand or my hands behind my back. I prefer to have the manual control when it suits me, but I also appreciate fully automatic. I guess some buyers of these cars will never ever dream of changing gear with pedals, and they'll just use them as fully automatic, so maybe that's why that's an option. But if you want pedals, make sure you get this steering wheel. The other thing is park assist. I can't really demonstrate it here because there's no option to do sort of parallel parking, but when you drive past a parking space and you want to get into it, you press that button there and the park assist function will kick off, and all you have to do is select the gear and brake, I think, and then but the steering is done automatically by the car to get you into that parking space. So that's pretty cool. It's £450. If you do that kind of parking a lot, then obviously that's money well spent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this Volks Wizard video going through the options on this very high spec Audi Q3 S line. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, please comment, please share, please subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one soon.